So what is the best Ram truck modification ever made? In my personal opinion, I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now in this video, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another video, y'all. We're going to be talking about what is the best Ram truck modification ever made. In my personal opinion right now, I'm going to be sharing with you guys that shortly. But before we get into that, I want to say I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon or morning and stuff like that. But I appreciate the support on the channel. Those who are subscribed to the channel, following my journey with this YouTube thing, definitely appreciate it. And with that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, click that like button also while you're there. I would definitely appreciate it. So what is the best Ram truck modification ever made? Now I got two in mind, but I'm gonna just say one. But I think right now, right, what is one of the best? I'm gonna say two. Fuck, I'm gonna say two. So right now for me, my number one, right, it's gonna have to be the Hellcat supercharger on a Ram 1500. I think is one of the craziest, modification I ever seen. Pretty freaking sick to see a Ram truck like this with a Hellcat supercharger. Kind of crazy and very unexpected though. There's something like right here. I feel like you could pull up to a car meet or something like that. Somebody just see you got a Ram, they want to make fun of you, and then you pop the hood, then they see something real different. Kind of very unexpected, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know who came up or did it first, whatever, but I'm starting to see though mainly on social media, a lot of like trucks, Ram trucks, like going with like the Hellcat supercharger setup. I think it's like a whole kit. I have looked it up before. It is a whole kit. It's not just a supercharger itself. It's a whole kit that you install on a 5.7 Hemi Ram, and it costs you about somewhere around like $5,000, somewhere around like $5-6 grand, which is crazy. I think the price is a little bit overpriced, honestly. But I mean, you know, you get what you pay for. It's not that crazy expensive, but $5 grand is kind of steep on the steep side. But it is kind of freaking cool though, I would say, to have a Ram 1500 with a Hellcat supercharger. I think that's like one of the reasons why, if you think about it now, like Hellcats and stuff, I think most of the reasons why people buy them is because of like the fact that it has a supercharger on there. The Hellcat, famous Hellcat wine, that supercharger is like the main reason behind it. And then also the name. I'll say also the name. Not a Hellcat guy or a Scat Pack guy, I'm gonna be honest, but what? They are super nice, cool car for you to have. Now for a Ram to have something like that and you hear that whine, pretty effing sick. I ain't gonna lie, pretty effing sick, man. I would definitely say, in my book going down today, that would have to be one of the sickest mod ever made for Ram 1500. I don't know how long it's been out for. I just found this out maybe last year or something like that, last year. But now you could, I think I've seen, even on Instagram, I seen I believe it was a C6 Corvette with like I don't know if it was a Hellcat supercharger, something. I don't know if it was AI though, but I seen it was kind of sick though. It was something completely out of this world, kind of different. But nowadays, if you really think about it, you really could put any kind of, if you got the money, you could swap anything in any car at any given time. If you got the money, knowledge, and stuff like that, you can do so. I'm not surprised if I see like a Honda with a freaking LS motor or something like that inside of it. I won't be surprised because you could really just put any kind of engine and stuff in any car with the knowledge, obviously. But it's not like it's impossible like back then, you know. But now it's like things, you never know what kind of car you pull up on, what they have under the hood. Kind of freaking cool though for a Ram to have something like that. Pretty epic, kind of sick. Give me a little bit of an idea too. But I would say that would be like the number one for me. Number two, honestly, I think would have to go with this was gonna be my number one though. I was gonna say doing putting a 6.4 Hemi in a, you know, in a Ram 1500s and stuff. Pretty much kind of sick, honestly, but the Hellcat supercharger topped that to me. But even though the fact that doing that, I would say it's kind of crazy though, because it wasn't something, it's not like now where it's like it's a lot of Ram guys doing it, which I can understand why. But before like I think maybe like a couple years ago or a year ago or something like that, it wasn't like as common as possible. But now you look everywhere, you see if anybody wanted any kind of fast Ram running some kind of like speed or something, they kind of fast. 9 times out of 10 they have a 6.4 Hemi in their truck. The 5.7 Hemi is still, you know, still out there. People still doing modification to it. But I would definitely have to say the 6.4 Hemi engine doing a swap is like one of the craziest. Kind of cool though. I would say kind of cool. But I would definitely say the best mod that was ever made for the Ram 1500, I'll say, modification, whatever you want to call it, would have to give, I'm gonna have to give it to, I'm gonna say like before the Hellcat supercharger though, I'll definitely say the 6.4 Hemi and stuff like that, pretty much doing a swap. I think that's like one of the best setup on a Ram and stuff. Definitely now the Hellcat supercharger is something that's different also. But before this came out, I really don't know. I think this came out probably the Hellcat supercharger with like the 5.7 Hemi, Hellcat supercharger on the 5.7 Hemi. I think this came out what sometimes around last year. I'm not too sure though, but I'm trying to figure out. I believe so. But right now, those would be the two best modifications: 6.4 Hemi, and then a Hellcat supercharger on the 5.7 Hemi Ram engine and stuff like that. I think that's kind of completely different, something I haven't seen. Now there might be more stuff out there, you know. Obviously now, if we talking about like setup like on the inside, I'll say another thing that's kind of cool to me would have to be like how you could do like a fully, I mean, it's this, I wouldn't say it's anything crazy, but I think how it's kind of cool that I think you could probably do like I think I've seen somebody did this before on YouTube. He did like a whole swap on the inside of I think it was a regular Express Ram 1500. And he did like the full sports look and give it like that roll. He did, I think it was like a Hellcat swap or something like that. He did like a completely kind of like giving like the same way how the Hellcats look on the inside, like the dash, everything. He upgraded his, did the swap and upgraded inside of his Ram 1500 and did like the Hellcat dashboard, had the seats, upgraded seats, all that stuff. It was kind of crazy. The Hellcat seats, kind of definitely, I'll say that's another good crazy mod for like the Ram 1500s and stuff like that. But definitely would say hell yeah to that. But it's a lot of things though, a lot of cool modification that you could do to Ram 1500. Pretty much, but I wouldn't say for me, my two favorites, doing the 6.4 Hemi swap, and also I will have to give it to seeing the Hellcat supercharger on a 5.7 Hemi engine. Definitely crazy. Like that setup right now, I've seen that setup on Google. If you guys wondering, like if you look it up on Google, it'll give you like the I forgot what page it was though, but they sell that setup for like the Ram and stuff. It's not just like an actual, I mean, it is a Hellcat supercharger, but it's not you just taking like actual Hellcat supercharger and putting it on your 5.7 Hemi. You need like a complete kit for you to be able to have like everything sitting and fit in the right way and stuff like that. But kind of crazy though, kind of dope, you know. But I don't know, it's a ton of different things you could do, modification. That's one thing I like about like Ram in general, I mean Mopar in general, I mean any car brand, but I'll say Mopar, like you could swap out a lot of things. Like that's why I don't understand. If you're gonna, like, I think personally, me honestly, I think if I'm gonna buy something, I think I like having the base model, because you could, you know, save you a lot of money, and you could just end up swapping, finding like the parts online. It's gonna be a little bit, you know, pricey, but would be way less than what you would pay for an actual, let's say like a fully loaded, let's say Ram 1500 or Scat Pack, Hellcat, just like a base model. You could swap like right now this truck, even the seats, plan on later on down the line doing a whole completely different swap. I don't like cloth seat because it attracts so much dirt. We'll probably end up going with just a leather seat, but who knows, man. I got a lot of things planned for this truck coming up in the future, so you guys want to stick around. Would definitely be worth it. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, make sure you do so. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, peace out.